Friends, with the chaos that is continuing to unfold over in Afghanistan, the Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, actually just announced that the Taliban is in complete control of Kabul. That literally, in order for us to hope that we get our American citizens out, that's left up to the Taliban. Not only do we hope and pray that our American soldiers and friends and allies are out of the country, get out of the country, but there's a lot of Afghanis that are targets, that have targets on their back, literally facing torture or death because they converted to Christianity. A good friend of mine, and no stranger to the show, somebody that I've had on this show multiple times, has assets on the ground right now conducting operations to get families out, to get them safely out. We've got some good news to share with you. But before I bring Victor up, I'll just share a little bit about who he is so you understand who it is you're about to hear from. Victor Marks was stationed at Camp Pendleton, 29 Palms in Southern California in the 80s. He's now the CEO of All Things Possible, a Christian nonprofit organization that works to identify, interrupt, and restore those affected by trauma. He is a former Marine, and his agency helps victims with trauma. He's working to bring home an Afghan family right now, a family of 8, and there's some good news to share on that subject. His ministry specifically focuses on the plights of those affected by the Islamic State. So with what's going on right now, there's not any person I know of that has a better insight. There may be, but he's got accurate insight into exactly what's taking place and to the threats that are taking place on the ground. With the Taliban on the march in Afghanistan following the withdrawal from our U.S. troops, many Christians and other religious minorities living in the country find themselves in danger. Victor is working to secure the funds necessary to rescue Christian families, Afghan families that are in danger, and get them out into safety. So we've got some good news to share today. Please share this. If you want to get the inside details on what's taking place, a lot of people are raising funds and have raised millions of funds, but then they don't have the assets on the ground in place with the network to be able to get the job done. Victor's network is getting the job done, and we're going to talk about that a little bit today. My guest, Victor Marks. Victor, so glad to have you on with me today. Again, my brother, and I hear we have some good news to share with this family that you've been trying to extract for, was it a 4-day mission? It looked like it was going to be an easy snatch and grab, and it took 4 days. But I hear that they are to a place of safety right now, which should make all of us feel good. Share with us what's taking place right now.
Yeah, great news, brother, and thanks for the opportunity to share with your audience. We need good news. We need to hear good news in all of the distress of what's going on. And yeah, I'm here to report this morning that the operation, even though it got wrapped around an axle for a bit, and we had some sustained injuries and things, Murph came into place, Murphy's Law. We pressed through. The courage of the actual family, and then the network in place never stopped trying, and they're out of the area into a safe place. And we've completed the first 2 phases. We still have the third, but this is great news. This was the hardest part, and I want to thank everybody that prayed, and I want to thank everybody that supported and funded this. So yeah, I would just echo what you said. We have a background of helping recover, help women and children who've been affected by ISIS. We actually still have a safe house in Iraq. We do work in Syria, Northern Africa, South America, and South Central or Southeast Asia. So when it comes time for Afghanistan, it's a whole different beast. And there are a lot of people making claims that they're going to go over there, they're going to rescue people. And I would just tell your audience, please be leery. Please be leery. I'm part of a coalition, and one of the leaders is a good friend of mine, Chad Robichaux, fellow Marine. We've done a lot of stuff together. And SaveOurAllies.org is the one coalition that I feel completely okay with sharing to your audience, that has the capabilities and the assets in place. When you're doing things like this, there's 2 things you have to ask people. What's your access and placement? Because I'm getting calls and texts and emails from people saying, hey, we're putting a team together. We're going to fly over there and we're going to get it done. Can you help me? And the answer is no. It's like, time out, stop. We have plenty of people, and it's a funnel. It's a wide funnel to get people down to a place where at the end, it's just it's a couple of small teams that, man, my heart goes out to them for what they've done. High integrity, courageous to actually make it work. So listen, this is great news. I will tell folks that two things are happening. One, we're pushing for the best possible solution, and I want your audience to hear this, is for a NEO to take place, a non-combative evacuation
And it's called
operation. NEO. This is the U.S. military actually moving in, trained. They have the assets and just rescuing people, getting all their Americans in and flying them out. We do this. We have done this both in wartime and, bad environments to, natural disasters. This is the answer. If everyone wants to know, this is the best answer to get all of our Americans and our allies out of there in the short amount of time we have.
Who has to give the approval for NEO?
Yeah.
What has to happen for
the
NEO to take place?
The president has to say execute this. The problem is that this NEO operation has been taken away from the Department of Defense, and it's currently at the State Department. I got a lot of friends at the State Department, but trust you me, they're not going to get it done at all. They're trying some little stuff. It's not working. We need to let the power and might of the U.S. military go ahead and execute a mission that they're trained and ready for. And trust me, I've got guys on the inside there, and from leaders to the whole gambit, they're ready to execute. But it requires the president having the courage to say, hey, maybe I didn't make the best decision, but let's get everybody out. Let's go ahead and execute this NEO plan, but let's move it from State Department to the DOD, get it done. Because I'll tell you what will happen. We'll start using helos to bring people out of Kabul into the airport or different locations. We'll use convoys to go in and get people. And let me tell you what, the president himself said, I've talked to the Taliban and Americans can come to the gate. It's not happening. It is absolutely not happening. As a matter of fact, the gates are all sealed and shut right now. They told everybody to go home. And the current order and directive is we're telling people shelter in place. Americans shelter in place. Now, I will say this: if we're able to execute a real NEO, man, our troops will roll out there fully trained. And if the Taliban wants to act silly, if they try to shoot, we will smoke them. We will obliterate their positions and still carry out the mission. So everybody needs to know the Taliban strategically just wants us gone. They don't really want to fight. They don't want to fight because they know Americans are going to be out of here, and then they'll be able to do their dirty deed in the way they've done for years. So the NEO is the number one thing. If people do hashtag NEO now on their social media, go to my page, Victor Marks, on Instagram or Facebook, and you can forward or share or just make your own NEO now, hashtag NEO now. Make your own, put it up. We need this to spread like wildfire. Man, if this could spread like Black Lives Matter did, we could actually get thousands of people out of there safely in a short amount of time. So that's what we're hoping. You have an incredible platform. We're getting other people to help, but it takes people sharing it on their walls, in their stories, to put it up, to create this groundswell.
So is one of the reasons why Biden might not be quick to pull the trigger on NEO is because it would basically be saying that he made a mistake in the way that he withdrew our troops when he did?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It's, but a good leader assesses the current situation, takes responsibility, and then moves forward with a better solution based on counsel and wisdom.
That's
you don't
what a
harden
good
your
leader
neck.
does.
Yeah, you don't harden your neck. You don't stiffen up. We're talking about lives, and
Yeah.
lives in a time-sensitive place. And for us to get that family out, let me tell you, there was very little chance that they had to get out. So people praying, people funding, and that's what we can do right now. Because I can tell you, there are many people waiting to get out, and we have the mechanisms, we have the access and placement. And if people want to help us, we'll do it. I will continue on a scale that's larger than what people think, because we have access to planes and movement. Now, there are people that raise a ton of money, but they don't have access and placement. And they're saying it. At least they're coming out and saying it. But our organization, our coalition is doing the deal, and we'll do it for the time period that we can. The other thing is I just got contacted by someone from Afghanistan, and the very, very sad reality, there are a lot of Christians who converted to faith from Islam while the Americans were there. And now that the Americans are out, they're going to be killed and persecuted. What's already happened is the Taliban has already started telling stores, do not sell to Christians. Again, I liken it to the Nazi and the Jews, right? Where don't sell to Christians. I can say that we have, again, access and placement, and to provide food and water. It is an impossibility that we're going to be able to get all of the Christians out. The scale of it's too big. But what I'd like to do is at least provide. Sorry. Damn. What I'd like to do is at least provide food and water and medical care for those that are going to be left there, so that they have the best chance of an end, and continue to try to get them out. But brother, that's a reality. I mean, my wife and I, we still have a house in Iraq. We understand what real persecution is. And Americans, even if those watching right now, you may not be a person of faith, but if you have any level of humanity, you'll want to help. And we're very honest with what we do. And that's why I get emotional, because I know the reality of what's going on.
Yeah.
But if people want to help us do this, go to VictorMarks.com.
MARX.com. VictorMarksMARX.com.
Yeah, /urgent. And those funds go directly to what we're doing. So
/urgent.
Yeah. So
you've got assets and teams on the ground in place. You've now gotten one family out successfully, a large family of 8, gotten them out successfully. You have the ability to get back in there and do more, but you need resources to bring water, to bring food, and to get people out.
Yeah,
you need resources.
Yeah, and it's just funding. I mean, prayer enables us to do this. Funds allow us to know how many. So again, we have everything in place. There are people being rescued and saved right now. But I would be I'd be leery of people who think they can just fly there, even with the best intentions, and start rescuing people. It's not what most people think. And we keep our methods and approaches private for operational security. But just know that our network is in place and it is effective right now. And our goal is just today, tomorrow, the next day. So yeah, if people support it and if they pray for it, we're going to report on what's going on, the planes that we can get out with souls.
Yeah. It's a dire situation. It shouldn't have happened. But us here in the States or anywhere around the world watching, when you're appreciating, you can turn lights on, you've got water in the sink, you've got food in the refrigerator. Right now, at this moment in time, literally every little bit helps. So, Victor, thank you so much for joining me today. I'd love to have you on again and hopefully get to share a lot more great news. Friends, please get to VictorMarks.com /urgent and give what you can. $100, $500, $1,000, $5, $10. Give whatever you can. I'm going to be making another donation as well to this. We already did this last week, but I'm going to do another one. And right now is the time. So if you're a believer, if you're a person of faith, I mean, I just feel it in my spirit. I felt it right when Victor was feeling it. Not everybody's going to be able to get out, but we can do something for some. And this is where the rubber meets the road. We've got the ability. This is the right channel. I know this is the right avenue to give funds to Victor and his team to get food, water, resources, and then get families out, as many as possible. Since this current administration is not doing anything, this is our chance to try to do something good with it. Victor, any final thoughts?
Well, I'll just say prayer is our secret weapon. Please don't underestimate the power of prayer, because to get things done and by the Taliban and move people and have flights that are safe. And it's all, I promise you, there's a spiritual battle going on. It's a spiritual battle manifest in the physical. So people, you know, I have people tell me, you know, I don't have any money to send, or I can only send $5. I'm like, do what God puts in your heart. If it's $5, outstanding. That will buy water, you
Yeah.
know. And if you can't do anything, know that prayer enables other people to give. Plus, it allows missions to go forward. I'm saying that from someone who's lived it time and time and time again, and just did here, especially in the last 72 hours. So thank you, brother, for being part of the team, because you're a part of our networking coalition to make this happen. Thanks for doing your part.
Well, it's an honor to do so, brother. Praying for you, for your team, and for more success in the wake of all this chaos and misery. So thank you for your ministry, and thank you for what you're doing. Friends, please get to victormarks.com/urgent. Give whatever you can, $1, $5, 20, give whatever you can, and then pray and cover Victor and his team with what's going on. And stay tuned for more updates. God bless you.